with me, as my voice may be a little bit different than you're used to, as over the last few days, I've been struggling with the flu. Of course, right after the holidays is the time of recording, and the whole family gets the flu. But I digress. Today, I want to work on industrial foregoing. That's at least one of the things that I want to get done. Today, I want to go ahead and build an industrial foregoing. So the first thing we need to do, get into the industrial latex, and while we're building, that should be enough time for the latex to build up. So how do I go about getting latex? And what are we going to be using industrial foregoing for? Well, I'm actually going to be using it for several different things. Definitely one of the better farming, auto farming mods that are in here. But it's also going to be used to mine out ancient debris from the nether. That is the main use. I want to be able to get netherite. It seems like a lot of stuff is gated by netherite, so it'll be pretty nice to be able to have that early on. So I'm going to need, if I can find it here, this right here, fluid extractors. So looks like, because I'm going to go ahead and actually store this recipe, so that way we can hopefully access it. But the machine frame, if I click this, we can actually access that real quick and be able to get to all of these items. As you can see, if notice that the recipe bar for the bookmarks do not show up on here. It probably would show up if I went into my options, video settings, and I reduce this down one. And then it shows up, as you can see right here. The problem with me using this size is if you're watching on mobile, if you're watching on your phone, it's near impossible to be able to see some of these items. So that's why I tend to not do that. But for this case, I think it'll be easier just to get these crafted this way. And with them crafted, just like that, we have 4 fluid extractors. Now, this is one of many items we're going to need here. So these are going to pull latex out of logs. And there's different types of logs that will actually benefit us more on this. I believe acacia is the best log to use. But we need something to auto-place the logs. So I think there is an immersive engineering add-on that has a block placer that is actually kind of easy to craft. Let's see, this right here, factory block placer. So it does require charcoal, and we actually have that on tap because of our quarry. So just grab a handful of that and we're good to go. Nice. So there's all of our charcoal. We'll head back, and with this, this mod has some incredible utility in itself. It's really hard to bypass, but yeah, Engineer's Decor, do not overlook it because it has an auto tree farm. It has all kinds of things in it. I honestly wish I could just like show you how everything works, but it just doesn't work that way, honestly. Like this right here, this mod has so many cool things. If you want to see like a full series where I had utilized it the best, I'd have to say Vault Hunters was probably where I utilized it the most. So there we go, factory block placer. So let's grab some logs for now. I don't think I have any acacia logs. Spruce, I think, is another good one. Right now, I'm just going to use regular oak. But I think I'm going to go hunting for some acacia logs here soon. So right now, what I need to do is just place this down like that. For some reason, these things are going crazy. Let's see. Can I maybe get a log here? I need this placed directly down. So just like this, or the other way around. Weird that it's placing directly down. I need it to place, there we go. Just right click. I guess shift right click inverts it. So we put this in, and as you can see, it automatically goes. And then these need to be placed on this, facing all the sides. Now these don't need power, but it does benefit them if you give them power. The more power you give them, or if you give them power, they're going to work faster and produce more latex. So and just like that, I have everything nice and powered, and you can see the latex building up. So with me just using regular logs, I think that'll be good for now. Of course, we're going to have to beef that up later and probably use the acacia logs. But yeah, I think it's time to get to building. Now, when I say a little bit of building, I mean, well, some significant building, because this whole area back here is going to become like the central headquarters of this entire build that is just spanning, yeah, over this area. And this will be the way into it. which is exactly where our storage scanner is going to be. But our storage scanner is going to get moved. But for right now, this is going to be the area. Now I've just got to incorporate everything else into this. And I think I'm going to go square instead of all janky circle. We'll see. Janky circle might still be the way to go. So I have successfully gotten this area set up. And of course, this has expansion for more areas because I think I plan on doing some crops here soon. But this main area is going to be home to whatever storage system we move forward into. So for example, refined storage. This will be the home for the refined storage for now. And then given the bottom will probably be where all of the madness happens under this mountain. But this area over here, I think some of these are going to be crops. Maybe this side and this side will be crops. And I'm going to be putting botany pots actually just within this area. I think getting some botany pots set up is going to be fantastic, especially for those crops that, well, we need a lot of, but we don't want to have to farm them all the time. Yeah, I'm looking at you, vines. Now, let's get back into industrial foregoing. Now that I got all the building and stuff done, we can start working on this. So all of these are actually nice and filled with a bucket of latex each. I'm going to go ahead and grab all of that latex out. And we need to use this bucket of latex to actually make our latex processing unit, which we are going to basically hook up to this to get infinite plastic, because that's exactly what we do with latex. So do I have a water bucket? I definitely do not, but we should be able to get just about everything crafted up pretty quick. We're going to need a lot of these pity machine frames. So I'll go ahead and get all these wrapped up. And just following along with the craft here, I mean, it's not that crazy. Like, it's a pretty simplistic thing. However, later on in industrial foregoing, things do get a little bit more complicated as far as crafting goes. Okay, so where do I want to put this thing? I'm thinking about right here, probably. Let's grab a couple of blocks. We can place it right here. This seems like a good spot for right now. Now, this is going to need power. So I'm going to need to bring power up in through here somewhere. Actually, this might not be the best place for it. How about right here for right now? And then what I can do is we'll just run some pipes. So we need fluid pipes. And we need to send the fluid from here into this. But this also needs water. So there's some interesting mechanics that we can do to actually fill this with water. So I know there's a sink in here and we can use that. But if you're on the cheap or you're playing a pack that doesn't have a whole lot, you can actually get by with a faucet from supplementaries. It's actually really cool what you can do with this. So all we need is a stair, right? And then a bucket of water. So this may seem a little strange, but with our water, let's go ahead and place a jar right here. And we'll take our stairs and we'll set these backwards like this, right? And with this being all wrapped around it, there's nowhere for the water to go. So if I waterlog this and then put a faucet on here and then turn it on, it's going to fill this jar infinitely. And then I should be able to say, hey, water, let's pull water from this jar potentially. Will it not pull from the jar? It doesn't have any power yet, so maybe that's the reason why. So let's get it hooked up to power and let's see if it'll work. So just like this, boop, and now it has power. It's not pulling from the jar, but I can substitute the jar for any other tank, and then it should be able to pull. It's the faucet that generates the infinite water, which is kind of cool, especially if you don't really have a whole lot of options. I know we have a sink, but yeah, this is another way. I think for this, I'm going to go with a basic tank. Yeah, bigger buckets. I'm going to go with a basic tank here. Put that there, and this should fill, and there we go. Now we're getting the water we need, and as you can see, that creates tiny dry rubber. We need a bunch of this to make the plastic needed to get into the machines from this mod. So while I wait for some latex to build up, I think it's time to get the storage sort of moved around and get my entrance into here a little bit more cleaned up. Oh, and also make some botany pots. I think it's about time I do that too. So I have just about everything I need for the bonsai pots, or not bonsai pots, sorry. The hopper botany pots, no longer bonsai pots, even though, man, I do miss the good old flat bonsai pots, but these are really, really cool as well. So first things first, vines. If we open this up, I can put the vines in here. You can use stone, which is just fine. And then over here, we're going to go sugarcane and dirt. It should be just fine with regular dirt. I don't think the modifier goes any higher if it's tilled. We can till it. It really doesn't matter, I don't think, for that. This is just going to be sand. This one will be the mahogany. Apparently mahogany can't go in there, so we're going to have to find maybe spruce to go in there. I wish mahogany worked. Let's see. Spruce. Man, I really wanted that mahogany. I guess I'll just have to grow it myself. And there we go. And then for this, we'll go wheat. Make sure to hoe that. And then kelp. Water bucket can go in there, and that actually does work, which is pretty neat. Pumpkin. I'll hoe that. And I think that's it, right? We got this one over here, which is going to be... That's our spruce. Is that it? I thought that was 8. Well, I guess that'll work. I don't really need flax because we do have Spider Farm. So, hey, all in all, this should work. And look at that. We already have vines. Yep, vines, sugarcane, and some of the major things that we're going to need are being grown here. Very nice. Now, let's get back to Industrial Foregoing. Now, with our balls of tiny rubber, we're going to have to smelt these down. And this should be plenty to get us started, at least early on, with Industrial Foregoing. Now, looking at the recipe for the mining drill, or the ore laser base, it is going to require vibranium. This is going to take a little bit of time to get, but I do know where some vibranium is. However, we do need to make the all-the-modium pickaxe in order to break the vibranium. That is going to be some fun, and also some nether adventuring. But it's all in the process, and today, I think at least as we work towards getting there, I think it's going to be a good start to at least get some of the base foundations for Industrial Foregoing done. And when I say base foundations, well, it's more than just the mining laser, right? Because we need to make an advanced machine frame. This requires pink slime, and yeah, it's going to probably be a 2-step process, as we also need to get into the dissolution chamber. So, dissolution chamber. This is probably going to be the next step in the process of Industrial Foregoing. So, dissolution chamber made. And this thing, well, is very similar to this machine. I'm honestly just going to place it right here and get it hooked into the power that is right next to it. This thing is going to take in latex, so we're probably going to be feeding it latex from this and also power, but it also accepts some other liquids that we're going to be working with here in the future. So, we need a pipe. Just get some power hooked to this, just like that. And then let's see, another pipe for the latex. Make sure this can kind of fill up. It looks like we're either really low on latex. Nope, it is just slowly filling here. I think what I might do temporarily is replace this with this and let this fill with latex for a little bit until it's nice and full, and then we'll switch it back. But this should be nice. This is where we're going to make our machine frames. Now, eventually it will need pink slime. So like our ultimate goal is to make the laser base. So the ore laser base and of course the laser drills. This is going to require simple, which is latex. So we'll make a few of those. But the ore laser base itself, this is going to require pink slime. And to get to pink slime, well, we need a mob slaughter factory. Thankfully, the mob slaughter factory is actually relatively cheap, like in comparison to everything else we've been making. So this is going to generate the pink slime that we're going to need. So right there is the mob slaughter factory. Now we are going to need some upgrades. So on its own, this thing doesn't really work very well. It only has a single block space that it functions in. And so we need to expand this. And to make an upgrade, we have to use the dissolution chamber. So thankfully we have enough latex, and we're just going to need some glass and a few things like that to make a range upgrade. And it should look a little bit like this right here. And so by default, this will up it by 1, making it a 3x3. And I think we are going to go probably this route with the bone mill, 2 redstone, and glass panes to make a 3 range upgrade. And so we just toss the items in. It's going to use a little bit of power in that latex. And there we go. And yeah, this is going to jumpstart everything. Now, we are going to need power. I think I'm just going to use a dynamo for right now to potentially power this thing, as we don't have wireless power just yet. So here we go. I mean, we just about have everything ready to go. Slaughter factory right here. The 2 fluids that this is going to generate, because this will not generate mob drops. The 2 fluids will generate here. Now, I do need to power this, and I'm probably going to do that with this. Let me go ahead and turn this off. We can even get rid of this temporarily. And I will place that there. This will give it some coal. And then we put the range upgrade in here. Make sure to upgrade this with an integral component. That should be plenty of power. And the mobs should technically start spawning in here. I don't think we have to fill this block in. Nope, it seems like it's working just fine. And we just got to give it a little bit of time to generate enough pink slime. And while we're working on that, and this is all running, we can probably work on getting some vibranium. Now, for the most part, this is going to be kind of expensive to make this aldomadium pick to be able to make the break the vibranium, but I think it's going to be worth it. So let's go ahead and set this up. That is 1 plate, 2 plates, and then we need the rods, which are like this, and we need 3. Whew. Okay, and now we should be able to make the pick. And voila, we have an aldomadium pick. Now, the good part about this is, well, when we go into the nether, I actually know where some vibranium is, like right near us. So, if we pop into here, and we just walk forward, avoiding this guy. Ooh, thank goodness this pick has a lot of damage. I would say a lot of damage, only has 14 attack damage. But there's some right here. Look at this, vibranium ore. And I think it's just 1. But still, you can find this stuff pretty easily. It stands out. And there we go. Vibranium ore. And I think this should give us some as a reward. Yes, and we also get some aldomadium as a reward for making the pickaxe. And there it is, vibranium ore. We can break another one. Because it just gave us another one. How cool is that? And of course, we can duplicate this in the same way. And yeah, we're going to need enough of this to make some gears. Look at that. Just did a little bit of running around and already found some more. So yeah, the stuff is quite prevalent. And I don't even know if you would need a potion to be able to see it. Because you can make a potion, by the way, that lets you see ore in the world. So long as you have enough of the original material to make the potion. It's kind of crazy. Now, without automation, the crafting of these machine frames are quite manual and tedious. But, you know, it is kind of satisfying once you do have these made. At least the laser drill itself, which you will need a minimum of 4, I believe. At least they're not too bad. They just require the simple machine. So I'm going to go ahead and get 5 of the simple machine frames done. And then we'll move our pink slime over and use 2 netherite scrap, which hopefully we'll be able to get back after this is built. We are also going to have to work on how we're going to get power to this, but that's a whole other thing we'll worry about later. But yeah, it's going to require the simple and just some more plastic. It's actually not going to be too difficult to do. So once you have all of your ingredients ready, the good part is you can actually lock the inputs, which will be really, really nice. So once we have this set, plastic, and then last but not least, we need the simple machine frames, I think. Pity machine frames. That's right, pity machine frames. So we throw those in there, we hit that lock button, and then just toss the ingredients into the back. And then I have the input here set to pull from the back, and it should go ahead and pull from the back and just put everything in its buffer. And kind of semi-automating it. As you can see, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but it gets the job done, and that's all that matters. So now for the fun part. Yep, that's right. We're going to go ahead and grab our pink slime tank, if I can manage to pop and get the slime tank. It went into here. Perfect. So, let's put this to use. We are going to basically just put a bucket of it inside. I pulled out all of the latex already into another tank. Thankfully, these work just like buckets. As you can see, put it in, and now we just gotta get all the other items in here. And of course, our final ingredient, the scrap right here. Oh boy. So tossing all of these items in, and that should be enough. And there we go. We are getting our final piece, and we will have a drill before I know it. The only problem, like I said, I don't have a way of powering it cross-dimensional yet. But I think we'll solve that very soon. That's going to be solved very, very soon. At least we'll have it set up and, you know, it'll just be there. So let's get it crafted. It is going to take our pickaxe, but I think it's worth it in the long run. We now have an ore laser base. And then the only thing left to do is to just get our other components, the 4 other laser drills. So this is the laser base, and then we have the drills. And there we go. So the way this works is I'm going to be putting this in the nether. This goes here, and these can go here. Now, you can have more than just 4 of these laser drills working. Like, you can have this whole area. By the way, I can show this, I think. I think it goes in a 5x5 around this. So you could technically have one here and here on the outside, on the bottom, like out of range, because these, yeah, this is the working area. So as you can see, you can definitely fit this in a cube and have a bunch of these surrounded. It's like 120 something of these you can have. It's kind of a crazy amount, but you'd also have to make sure every single one of them is powered. But yeah, you would just basically surround this like it's a cube. But 4 of them definitely gets you by for right now and gets you started. So as you can see, these need power. This does not. So we are going to have to start working on power. And I think that's going to have to be next episode. Yeah, next episode, we'll get that set up. And this thing will go in the nether and should start mining up ancient debris for us. Yeah, especially when we focus it. And well, guys, I think it's time to thank the supporter of today's video. And that, my friends, is going to be a huge thanks going out to Baba. I think that's how it's supposed to be pronounced. Thank you so much for your amazing support, by the way, over in the Discord, becoming a Discord premium member. And of course, guys, if you are interested in joining the community over there, all you have to do is go to discord.gg/ChosenArchitect and join the community. Link down in the description below. Also, be sure to check out my live stream. I do live stream over on Twitch 4 days a week. Of course, when I'm not sick, I of course live stream over there. But be sure to check that out. I will be live streaming at the time of this video going up, so be sure to check that out. Of course, I do stream for anywhere between 4 to 8 hours, so just be sure to check that out. And of course, guys, I will see you in the next episode. Click that subscribe button, comment down below if you enjoyed, and give this video a thumbs up. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.